In today's video, we're going to be working on the emblems and badges on this Ram pickup truck. So let's get started. Alright guys, welcome back to today's video. So today's video, we're going to be working on the emblems and the badging on this Ram pickup truck. So if you guys have been following along with the channel, we have some big plans for this truck. We're going to be ultimately Hellcat swapping it. Yes, that's right. We do have the drivetrain already, but we're going to be doing a bunch of fun stuff with this first. You're going to see that obviously we have the chrome badges on this side. Here looks okay, looks all straight and everything, but the other side looks like somebody's had it off at some point. This one is chrome, so we're going to be doing something with this, and namely we're going to be plasti dipping it. I do like preferably taking it off, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to take it off, and right now I feel like I just want to get it done, so I'm probably just going to plasti dip it on and in place, and we'll also do the same with the back. These ones, same thing, and this is what I'm talking about here. You can see the 0 doesn't line up with the M, and my OCD-ness is kind of letting that get the best of me. So what I'm going to do is we're going to remove these Ram 1500 ones. We're also going to remove this, but I have black ones, HEMI 5.7 liter badges. I'll show you guys. So these are coming off, this is coming off. We're going to replace the HEMI. We're going to leave the Ram 1500 off on both sides. And then here in the back, we're going to also plasti dip this one, so this one will get blacked out. And what we have to accomplish all this is we've got some fishing line. I got some 50-pound stuff, so it's the thicker stuff so we don't snap it as we're sawing through the double-sided tape that hold the emblems on. Also have some cleaning compounds, so a bit of polishing compounds so that in case underneath, once we get all the glue and the double-sided tape off, if we have to, and clean up underneath. And I also have 1 can of plasti dip. So 1 can will definitely be enough for the front and rear emblems. Side one's getting replaced. Let me show you the replacement HEMI badge that I found for a really good price. So here's a replacement 5.7 liter HEMI badge. It is identical in sizing. I know sometimes they come a little bit smaller, but found this one off Amazon. I'll link it down below. It's got the double-sided tape with it. So that should be pretty straightforward. We'll take that off and we'll put this in its place on both sides. And let's get to taking these emblems off first. All right, so normally you'd be able to use fishing line through this, but some a-hole decided to use, like, this is straight up like Permatex or something on here, so I'm gonna have a hell of a time getting this off. I'm hoping the paint isn't damaged underneath, because if it is, we're gonna have to put black emblems on here. But it's just one more thing of fun stuff to add to the list on this, so wish me luck. I'm trying to get these off without damaging anything, because you can't run the fishing line through here. They're like dang near on the paint, so I'm having to use a credit card and trying to get a screwdriver in there to pry it up without damaging my paint, which seems to be working, but it's not fun. All right, so there's no point in me going crazy overnight. What I ended up doing is I just got on Amazon and got Amazon Prime overnight. So by the time we get working on this thing tomorrow, I got plastic razors, a rubber vinyl wheel remover. So it's like a wheel that's like rubber, and it can chip away at this stuff, and you kind of just go super slow. So I got that stuff coming in the morning rather than me trying to peel my fingernails off my hands. That's gonna come in the morning, but let's go ahead and take this one off with the fishing line. All right, so I think we got it off now. And this should be much easier cleanup than the other crap. All right, so we've got that emblem off. That one was crooked as well. It had double-sided tape. Got some crazy birds, and she's off. So I'm gonna use a little bit of that wax and grease remover stuff that we got here. Clean that up. So that got off all the remaining residue. So let's go ahead and we'll work on the other side. Like I said, hopefully the stuff shows up in the morning where I can get all this crap off. So what I'm gonna do first, actually, is I'm gonna put some blue tape where this one is. That way I get it in the factory spot. The other one was a little bit wonky, so I'm just gonna remeasure it based off of this. But I want to put this here so that I know exactly where it should be, and that way our lives will be that much easier to put the new one on. So let's get to this one. These ones should be okay. They look like they got double-sided tape behind them, so hopefully these ones are not a nightmare. We can do it the traditional way. Not gonna lie though, I know most people use the other method, but this new way is a credit card and a screwdriver. I kind of like it. Just, there's less chance of burning through your paint with the fishing line, because if you rub that fishing line across your clear coat, you could burn right through it. Whereas this way you're prying off it, but you're not touching your paint as long as you're careful. So that one has factory double-sided tape at least. So take my card off, I'll pull all this crap off. So it's pretty much nighttime. I got all this off, and then I got off all the adhesive. I'll wait till tomorrow to actually clean it off with like the Goo Gone and stuff, and hopefully the other stuff shows up so we can pick off the rest of that stupid silicone in there. Okay guys, so I ended up getting that stuff off. That was an absolute nightmare, and I actually made a video all in itself because that was a whole separate project that I didn't expect to happen. So I'll link that other video if you guys want to go check it out on how I removed this without damaging the paint. I had to use a whole slew of things. I tried contacting some mobile detailers, and they wanted to like use a heat gun and scrape it off, and I don't know, they had some weird ideas which I didn't trust. So I went with my gut, got like $20 worth of stuff off Amazon, and you can see there she's good to go. So super happy with that. Let's go ahead and take the adhesive off the other side and get back to the original project. So we still got all the glue over here. I'm going to use this pretty much overpriced Goo Gone and remove all this junk. I'm kind of debating, I think I'll still clean this up, but really the new emblem's going to cover all that, but I guess I'll clean it up while I'm here. Alright, so it's not without some serious elbow grease to get kind of the crustaceans of the edge of these emblems off, because it's kind of like almost like the glue like picked up some dirt, and then just, you know, if the previous owner ever waxed it and stuff, like it's all just built up on those edges of it. But I'm just kind of soaking it in with that I guess expensive Goo Gone. Seems to be doing the trick, but this is like industrial strength Goo Gone, and I'm still having to work at it. But I'll link this stuff down below for you guys because it's safe on the paint, but this stuff is caked on here. I'm just working it back and forth on all these letters, and most of it's off, but I don't know if you guys can see, like the M is still there, part of the 0, part of the R, but she's coming off. And then this I don't really care too much about, because like I said, this is all gonna get covered, but I guess I'll clean it up as much as possible. But I'll keep working at it. Should be a couple more minutes and then we should be good. Okay, so all the glue is off. And before, I'll be the first one to say it, since somebody's gonna say it about using these blue shop towels instead of using like a microfiber. But honestly, it's not doing any damage, and I kind of want the little bit of abrasiveness so I can actually rub this off. But yeah, just know that it's not doing any damage. It's not leaving scratches all over the place. What I'm gonna do right now is all the glue is off, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of rubbing compound and see if I can kind of get a little bit of this polish. Ultimately, it's gonna have to be buffed, but I don't have a buffer with me, so that's what we're dealing with. I'm just doing basic hand stuff here. So let me get out the rubbing compound, go over this, and then it should be pretty decent. All right, so next up, we're gonna put these emblems on. And I think I'm gonna make just a dedicated video just for these, because I'm sure a lot of people wanna know exactly where these go if they're ever trying to replace them. Because to me and my OCD, like if this doesn't look proportionate or factory, it drives me absolutely mental. So let me set the camera down and I'll show you guys exactly the measurement if you guys ever need to do this. See this lip right here from the factory kind of mud flap or guard? It's gonna be 14 inches exactly to the bottom of the badge. So this is my upper tape line, so it's 14 inches from here to there, and then over here from the edge of the fender from your line, it's 7 inches and 1/8 to here, so 7 1/8, and then the emblem is going to sit in this corner here. So that's going to be where it is. That's the factory position so that it looks good, and that's it. Bam! So there's one. Check that out, you guys. So it looks so good in my opinion compared to the chrome one. I really like the look of that. Clean, no Ram 1500, just the fender badge there. Let's go ahead and get the other one on. If you guys ever hear barking in the background of my videos at my sister's house, it's this dangerous dog. Super vicious dog right here. It will rip your head off. Okay, super happy with those, you guys. So it came out dead level. It looked like factory, except now they're blacked out. So I was gonna originally tape this off, but I think it'll be easier and cleaner. The back one's a pain in the butt to take off, but this one, it's a little bit easier, but unfortunately we're gonna take off the whole grill to get to it. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Just saves me a bunch of taping off and overspray on the front. The back on the tailgate has a lot more work, so that one will tape off, but we're gonna remove this little shield. This just pops up, and then we'll get to the 4 10mm head bolts that hold the grill on. So the grill is off. If you guys are curious how to take that off without breaking any tabs or anything, I have a dedicated video to that. I'll link it above here. Also put it down for you guys as well. I don't have a blanket, but I just put it in the grass. It'll be okay. And if you guys have seen me do this before, luckily it's hot outside, but because I don't have a heat gun, but there is double-sided tape on the inside holding this, but you're gonna see 4 locking tabs, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you gotta play this game of pushing your screwdriver through. That's the back of the badge right there, is through these slots right here. You gotta play a game of pushing down on that and popping the tab at the same time, and then she'll come out. So I'll show you guys. There she is. So there's a double-sided tape that I was telling you about that's holding this thing on rock steady, but she's off. Now just clean it up and we can paint this thing. So some guys will get creative, and you can see here there's all these mushroomed plastic. You can actually take off the backing, so you can separate the black part from the chrome part, but I'm not gonna bother with all that. And also too, just be aware if you're washing it with something, because I've had this happen before on previous ones. Water will kind of sit in between the 2 pieces, and every time you go to plastidip it, it'll end up like bubbling up the plastidip, or it won't adhere to the water, and there'll be water trying to run out of your paint job. So just keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna go ahead, wipe it down with a microfiber, and then we'll be ready to spray this thing. So we got our badge all cleaned up. I just did the same thing. I didn't use any water or liquids because I didn't want it to get in behind and ruin our plastidip job. What I do have next is I got just this roll of paper here, so masking paper, and then I've got our blue tape. So you're gonna wanna, don't go right up to the edge of this. Leave, as crazy as it sounds, leave like a 1/4 inch around or so, because you're gonna wanna spray the plastidip onto here, and then when you peel it, it's gonna give a nice clean break around your emblem. So leave a little bit of a gap, like I said, about a 1/4 inch or so. You'll see what I mean later on, but if you put it right up to the edge, you run the risk of your tape getting stuck to the plastidip and peeling it off your edge. So make sure you leave that 1/4 inch. So let me tape this all up and mask it, and I'll show you guys next step. All right, so there we go, everything's masked up. Might have seemed like I went a little bit overkill with the tape job, but I would do this because before I've tried to just, you know, tape to here or there, and you always end up with little speckles over here that you end up having to, you know, take off later. And it's not hard to take off, it's just a pain in the butt. So I would just rather tape it off once, and that way once we take this all off, we're good. So here we go. Here's our plastidip. It's super hot out here, so I'm not too worried, but if you guys live in a colder climate, some guys like to soak these in warm water. It just makes for a better finish. It comes out a little bit smoother instead of having a more textured look. So if you want a smoother finish, soak these in some warm water, shake the living out of it, and then you can go ahead and start spraying. So the first coat you want to do super light, just a very light dusting, and then we'll go ahead and start laying the thicker ones after that. So that's it, nothing too crazy. It might look chunky, but watch, once it dries it'll settle in usually, and we'll go ahead and we'll spray the front one. Okay, so first coat is dry. It's looking really good. So I'm gonna put about a half dozen coats on this. So we'll go back and forth, let it dry, and then we should be good. All right guys, that's what 6 coats looks like. So we're good to go. Also been doing the lug nuts for the wheel reveal. I didn't mean to rhyme, but that's what happens. And then that's how that looks. Super nice, you guys. It's this is going a lot better here in Florida than I could ever really get it in California. California, it seemed like it just like wanted to be textured, but I'm really liking how smooth that looks. So anyways, what I'm gonna do is start pulling this off, and I'll show you guys how to peel this in the process. So let me get the main paper out of the way, and then I'll show you. All right, so if you guys have never seen this before, once you get it close, it is gonna peel like a balloon, and it's gonna peel right to a hard edge, and then it will break there. So you can see right when it gets to the emblem, we just peel this off like a balloon, and we're gonna have our nice clean line like you see there. So same deal. This is actually probably the most rewarding part of this whole job, you guys. Just make sure it doesn't, sometimes I've had it where like you're pulling on it and it snaps back and it like flies and lands on your fresh paint job. So I just try not to let it do that, because that's never fun, like kind of like that, but it seems to be cured up a bit. So I'm gonna go around and do all that, and that'll be it. Woo-wee! Check that out, you guys. That is slick looking. So that, along with the badges on the side, I'm really liking this. So right now, we'll go ahead, we'll reinstall our emblem. We gotta be very careful, or if you guys wanted, you could wait till it cures up before you start pressing on it, but I'm gonna be very gentle, and I'm gonna put it back in so I can put my grill back on. So there it is. She is all in place. I got a bunch of, like, I just washed this thing the other day and I already got bugs splattered to it, so I'm gonna have to wash it again, but I'm gonna wait a few days for this to cure before I go scrubbing anything. But anyways, she's on. Just make sure that your tabs all click back in. Let's throw this grill back on. All right, so grill is back on. Truck is dirty, you guys, so don't judge me. You guys saw me wash it just the other day, but down here in South Florida, there's just bugs galore, so you can see them just splattered all over the thing, but probably looks still pretty decent in camera. And you guys can already probably tell we still have a whole lot of chrome going on with the headlights and the fog lights, so I'll be doing something about that, but at least the main things I'm happy with. Again, super happy with how the debadging came out, and then the rebadging with the black badges, and working our way around. Yeah, it looks really good, you guys. Also, we have black direct bolt-on Flowmaster exhaust tips coming. They might actually be here. I'm going to show you guys something in a second. So that'll tie in nicely. I'm going to be doing something with taillights. I have taillight tint, and also probably be swapping them out at some point, but I might just try some taillight tint on these guys. Comment down below, actually, would you guys rather see taillight tint on these? I also have a set of LED, factory LED ones, both Laramie and the red sport ones. So I have both factory LED versions. I was thinking of maybe tinting a set of those and showing you guys a conversion, and then walking around. So as you can see, we got black lug nuts, and now I feel like the only thing, or major thing, it's definitely not gonna be the only thing, but the major thing is gonna be getting the linglongs off and the 17s. So I'm not sure, I might actually keep these 17s so we can put some drag radials on them for going to the track for now until we get like a drag pack set up. But I don't know if I explained to you guys, I just have one lug nut on here right now because those ones are all getting painted. So that way I can put the new wheels on in the morning after these guys harden up. I can put them on. So that's pretty much it. And also a huge shout out to Holley Performance. We've got a boatload of parts. Those are all for that thing, you guys. So this is only a part of the stuff that we've got, and you guys can probably see we got intake, exhaust, diff cover. I don't even know what's in that box, a bunch of stuff, and we got a whole lot of extra stuff coming too. So that's gonna be a wrap for today's video, you guys. A little bit of a hiccup with that RTV that was on there, but glad I was able to get it off without ruining the paint. So let me know, comment down below if you guys have ever seen anything like that, or what you're most excited about on this truck, or even suggest something that you want to see on this truck. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new to the channel, check out all the other content we've got on here, and we'll see you guys on the next video.